Stage fright.
Okay, folks.
Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to the Kent County Administrative Charging Committee meeting. My name is Barry Byers, and I call the meeting to order. Did everybody get a copy of last month's minutes? You're able to review it?
Yes.
Okay. We don't have to approve them just because it was approved in the PAB. Were there any corrections or concerns about it?
None from me.
Okay. I'm going to introduce Lisa Doyle. She's the new civilian member that will sit on the police trial boards. She's a part of, I guess, better part of this committee more than anything else, although she won't be taking part in the investigations, but she'll sit on the trial boards. She took the training up in Sykesville. She said the county wined and dined her. I'm only kidding about that. So thank you, Lisa, for taking on this adventure.
Sure.
It's a very important role that you have. Moving forward, we're governed by Robert's Rules of Order, the Open Meetings Act, and reminder, confidentiality. If we talk to personnel matters, we'll go into executive session and go off the record, or go off the recording. Old business, I'm going to jump right into this. Mr. Miller.
Yes, sir. So I, after much delay, I took the Queen Anne's County Rules and Procedures and basically just changed the names to protect the innocent, made them Kent County instead. And where I could, I changed citations and things like that. But I really didn't tinker with the content of them. And the document you have before you is the result of that. And there have been a couple of suggestions for modifications already, such as adding in some of the language from the county commissioner's charge that this body be set up. There are other things that can be added too. There's a numbered issue, I guess, in Queen Anne's County. It's 4-year terms, 5-year terms, and we're 4-year terms here. So obviously I would suggest making that change. And there are other things that could be added or deleted. The oath that we're supposed to take, I don't know if there's a record of that in terms of what was taken in the past. But that's the kind of thing you might see in here somewhere to.
Was the oath, because I saw it, was that just for when we're going to question?
It's the confidentiality oath.
Okay. We never got a copy of the one that we signed here, correct? Did we ever get
I
that?
don't have one.
When we first started, they had us sign a confidentiality form. Do we have that on file?
We'll have to search for that.
I'll have to look and see.
We'll see what we have.
'Cause I don't know if that would be sufficient or,
I assume
yeah.
it's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what was taken in the past. It could be the,
Maybe if we could get it,
We'll make
a
sure
copy
it's
of it,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
And just
Want me to
compare
just
it.
print a copy for each member that's
I
here
would,
next
yeah.
week or
Yeah.
next
If they've
month?
already signed.
Okay.
just email us.
Yeah, wouldn't hurt. I'm sorry.
I think that really is the, the end of the story. I apologize for the formatting errors. I used to be a pro at Word, and it set up a new version of Word that does all kinds of crazy things by itself. So the bullet points and all those kinds of things are goofy, and I've tried to fix them, but thus far I've not been able to do it. So
I
So.
feel bad, I tried too. It did the same thing for me.
So we'll call this draft number 1, right?
Yeah.
And then, so my suggestion would be we all take this back, go over this, add our notes, and then at the next meeting come back and see if we can't muddle through this.
If you want me to keep the pen, I'm happy to do it, or if somebody else wants to do it, that's fine. But if you send me your changes in red line, I can do that kind of automatically and just create a new draft.
I'm good
Add
with that.
comments.
Yeah, yeah, or add comments.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm good with that. I mean, it really does look good. I read it earlier, and like I say, the few minor little things, but yeah, I did nothing glaring. I'm just curious, did we look at any other counties?
I have Talbot County now, so I could take a look at that and see if this misses anything, or that says something better.
Right.
So we got that today, I guess.
Later in the day, yes.
And if there's other counties you want, let me know, I'll try to get them for you, if you want to have more to compare to.
I defer to the chair.
I think we're good on what we have. I mean, they're very similar, it's just the layout's a little bit different. There might be some language changes, but I think this is adequate.
Okay. So let's do that. Let's just, any changes or questions or whatever, we'll email you with it.
Sounds good.
And, because we all have it electronically. New business. Anything else under old business I'm leaving out? No. You heard Mr. Landon talk about there's a possibility that we're going to get a county email address and laptops for the ACC members with the OneDrive to review cases with. Will that do, if there's video camera footage, video, it'll all be on that?
I'll have word processing.
Okay. And speaking of that, it looks like within the next, very, very soon, in the very near future, if you recall, a PAB meeting we had, and I said we were notified by the sheriff that there was a complaint that they had received. It looks like they're wrapping up their internal, and they will be presented to the ACC. Okay. And, yes.
On that, since it looks like we may be coming closer to doing business, are we aware of any other counties having basically a decision sheet or matrix that instead of writing an opinion, it's, just fill in the blanks?
Well, when you say matrix, there is a.
Understood, but I'm thinking a form
Not
that
that
could
one,
be
OS.
filled in with the person's name, rank,
We talked about it, we haven't actually developed.
but I don't know if
one.
other counties are doing that.
I'll check.
Okay.
I can definitely check with Talbot, and we will keep it concise.
Yeah, and I
And
think
do a
this was
draft.
kind of Gary's idea initially, to have
I'd bet on
something that
Baltimore.
is consistent.
Baltimore County, for sure. I will take ownership of that and get that to you
Thank you.
all by the end of the week, so that can be coupled with the review of the general rules of procedure draft.
And what are you calling that?
Exactly, it's the opinion.
It's a template
Opinion sheet,
for,
template,
Yeah.
yeah.
that way there's consistency with, right? That's the,
Yeah,
Typically, when you write an opinion, you facts, governing law, discussion, and your conclusion.
Okay. So we're going to need to get into here pretty soon, how the flow and the review's going to go. I'm sure Frank will notify me. I'll reach out to you. Email is best, or,
probably so, yeah, for me.
Yes.
yes,
is something quicker?
text.
Text. I'm fine with text. I like text. I don't always check.
Both?
I don't always check, I can't, because I don't
No,
always
text.
read my email.
Me too,
Every
depending
day.
on how busy my day is.
Right.
Text is fine for me too, if that's
If we
the
can do
consensus.
both,
Either
that's
one
best.
works.
Okay. Okay. And then I guess we can Yeah, I mean, we'll see how that goes and then see if we need to kind of fine tune that when this comes in. There was discussion, Frank and I had discussion, so but it might be a moot point, I don't know. I had talked earlier with the PAB, and y'all might have been present, where we were going to try to meet quarterly. The PAB has to meet monthly. It's the ACC that only has to meet quarterly, or unless something comes up. So I'm throwing it out there, because here's what I see happening. When you do get a case, it's going to be a couple of days. You're going to have to review. You might have to come back or look at something at a different time. It's going to eat up some of your personal time. Are you going to want to meet every month? You do?
My vote is yes,
Okay.
at least for the first, year of this. So we make sure that
Get all the
we have a
kinks.
good foundation.
It's fine with me.
I'm okay with it.
Okay. Perfect.
And is
It's-
3:30 on the first Wednesday of the month going to be the,
Well, 3:30, if the PAB runs longer, which I don't foresee that happening.
just trying to put some
But
on the
3:30
calendar.
would be the ideal time.
Is that the time you guys want to keep it at?
Sure.
Does that work for
That
everyone?
works.
All right,
And if there is, a case, an instance where, such as July 3rd or whatever, if, there's nothing on our agenda and it's something that, we forego that meeting, we can do that, but at least we're planning to have them monthly with an agenda and updates and progress, that sort of thing.
yep. No, I'm good with that. And 'cause when we talked about it, and then we see this case right around the corner, probably not a good time to be meeting quarterly. And you did a lot of legwork on this guidelines, so let's iron it out, and that's going to, take some discussion.
Well, hypothetically, if we get a case between now and June 5th, say we get it in a week, how do we get together? I mean, how do we look at what's there, figure out what we need, agree on what else to ask for if there's something, do we set up another meeting in person or?
Well, if we don't have the laptops,
True,
it's probably the only way we're gonna be able to do it, I would guess,
true.
like we did at Sykesville.
You'll have, it would have been done today, if not tomorrow, and I'll make sure that you get them as soon as I get them. I'll bring them to you, your
Okay.
houses or whatever.
So ideally, you'll get the information electronically from the case, so you can review it as you have time and see what, make your notes, your questions, or whatever. And then at some point, you should probably get together, discuss each other's issues and questions, and then come up with a conclusion, and then send it forward. Is there a better time, like, in addition to this meeting, that you guys like, is a Monday night better or Friday night? Because Barry had asked maybe at the Emergency Operations Center conference room could be reserved. You guys would come over there, use that room to have your private discussion or whatever. Just have to get it on the schedule. And lucky for us, Valerie does the scheduling in that room. So you'll get first preference at your date and times that you want.
And my idea of having it there too was if we had to review video footage or whatever, it's there. So that was just a suggestion that I had for that.
What do you mean it's there?
They
It's
have
there in the
computers. Because I didn't know about the laptop thing.
Oh, I'm with you, okay.
So-
Is scheduling for that pretty on high demand? Or like if 1 week we say, hey, next week on Wednesday night, what do you have?
I think you're good.
Yeah, I think if you give
Okay.
it a week notice, we can tweak a few minutes here or there.
If you said we need that room tonight, we would make as much accommodations as we can. So totally up to you guys. And I don't think they rent the room out that often, but, I think we can accommodate whatever the needs are.
We'll
Okay.
kick out whoever,
Within reason.
whatever you need.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I don't think that would be a problem. You guys figure out what works best for you. Problem being, we need a quorum, we need all three of you there, to make a decision and all that, so it has to fit what you have. So, we'll accommodate as best we can there.
And then, moving on, I guess there's a kind of gray area or question mark about this whole thing is, I haven't been to the training, we know that. And, I mean, I tried, and I'm gonna do it in the fall when it comes up. But we're gonna have to do something with this.
Yeah.
So, I think Frank, Pete, and I will start asking some questions on powers to be on how to go down this road.
You mean as far as the chairperson?
Because I don't know how we're going, I don't know what the right answer is.
Well, if we only have 3 people right now, before somebody gets hit by a bus, but we only have 3 people who
Thank you,
are
Seth.
qualified. It's gonna happen a lot on the Eastern Shore. But 3 people right now that could sit, we could certainly appoint a chairman
Amongst the 3.
amongst the 3,
Right.
with the understanding that we get back together, we have 4 or 5 people, we can redo that and put you back in.
We're thinking of an assistant or deputy chairman for the ACC as well.
Right. Yep. And I'm fine with that. I mean, we just gotta figure it out. And, I'm gonna talk to Pete and Frank more about that.
I would nominate Gary as the temporary chair.
I'm flattered.
You're great at nominating, Gary.
I mean, we can do that right now if you want.
I'm okay with that.
I think Shelley's.
I think that for me, it makes more sense to work on the draft and the procedures and get a little bit more information from the 3 of you as far as a vice chairman or what that might look like with your status. And then all 3 of us will have more information to make a decision on voting on a vice chair.
I don't think the
Vice
chairman
chair.
part, the only
For ACC.
preclusion on the chairman part is on the actual case stuff. I don't think as far as setting up the rules of procedure or
I
getting,
agree.
chairing
Yeah,
the meetings
right.
and that sort of thing, I don't think that requires the training. It's
No.
more making decisions and ruling on the cases.
To me, it's more of a titular thing, having a chairperson, but the 3 of us work together very well. So it doesn't really matter, except for to meet the requirements that there be a chair.
But we're gonna
None
try
of
to
us is a
answer-
control freak here, and so.
I'm sure that can be worked.
But
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, the legislation says that the chairman of the PAB is also the chairman of the ACC. The chairman is appointed by the county commissioners. So that Barry.
Yeah, that's what I thought I saw.
I think that's what's there, isn't it? Is that what you think?
That's what I
I believe so, it's not my recollection, but I don't have it in front of me, so.
Yeah. I try to remember as much of it as I can, but there's a lot out there on this stuff. We're slowly getting through it.
Okay, keep your discussion, I'm listening.
But that's, the voting part, the reviewing of the cases and the rendering of decision, that's where the training would come in. But as far as the administrating the meetings, I don't think that training has any bearing.
Well, I think it's, in a
Okay.
lot of ways, prudent to have Barry be both, but
Yeah. But we're gonna ask that question. They have a deputy attorney general who's kind of assigned with
On this,
overseeing the PAB stuff.
on this draft, at page 2, Roman numeral 2, chair, the Kent County Commissioners shall elect a chairperson by a majority vote.
of the PAB or the ACC.
Well,
That's
this is about the ACC
That's the draft.
for a 5-year period.
So this is.
That's the one that
coming
you
from-
brought to my
This is
attention.
coming from Queen Anne's
Yeah,
County,
that's what
that
Queen
was
Anne's-
just.
Yeah, it's
like,
Queen Anne's.
Clearly, we need to modify that. But I thought that the
I think I
commissioners
have, but
appointed Barry that role as well.
I had it in here somewhere.
Commissioners appointed Barry, the PAB and/or the ACC appoint their chair, the ACC chair. It does not need to be a commissioner appointment.
Okay,
That was our initial understanding.
which is good.
I don't have the right documents with me, so.
We also talked in the PAB about maybe swapping out a member of the ACC to go before to switch over to the PAB and bring one over. Because I don't think the other ACC member, he's probably not going to want to pursue this because he can't go to the training.
Got it.
And he would probably better suited
I
on
agree.
the board. And then if we could get someone from the board, just to save time, because they're already vetted and they're on the board, that's willing to go to the training, bring him or her over.
Okay.
I think
That's
that's
where
why
we're
we
at
get
with
the
that.
big bucks. That's a decision that,
So that's where we're at with that.
So my top two picks in there were adamant no.
Yeah.
Because of their 5-day training and
I think there's only one in there that could do it, be honest with you.
I agree, and I think that maybe he could have further discussion and maybe he would change his mind.
Who are we talking about?
Can't say the name,
No.
we're screaming.
Yeah,
What's that?
it's a personnel
Or-
thing.
we're streaming.
Yeah, we're
Okay, because I'm in the
Okay,
dark
So we
here.
can pick that up at the next meeting, unfinished business or
so that's where we're at
in
with
line
that.
with recruitment too.
Okay.
And like I say, hopefully we'll get that resolved. But I don't think that's going to be an easy fix or a quick fix. Especially since they're not offering training until October, November now.
But the great thing is the three of us are already ready, so.
Right. Yep. All right.
I was
Eve,
lucky.
does anybody have
We
anything
were
good?
fortunate with all, how that worked out. We, as the county, were fortunate with that.
Anybody have anything good for the good of the order? Anything?
Nothing further?
Can I just ask one thing? If this case does show up in the next week or so, how many days or how long do you want to preview the stuff before you get together? How long do you want to review the stuff to prepare yourself to come to a meeting to discuss it?
Well, is there a time requirement when a complaint's received?
We did.
This isn't a
We-
complaint. So the timeline is for a complaint. It's not for, I don't think there's a timeline for something that's already been investigated, right? So we're going to review their investigation, and you're either going to, based on the matrix and the
Yes,
information
okay.
provided, see if it's within reason, or if you need to
And there
go
may be-
further,
There may be a
right?
30-day time limit that we have to get back to them once they.
Right,
submit.
I knew
I'm
this.
sure it's there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's not like like if a complaint comes in, if that's,
I think a complaint can be received from one of the police departments.
You
So I mean,
can-
that's one way it can go to the PAB and then to ACC. I think there's a time limit for the PAB to turn it around.
Yeah, there's
This is
a
all from
three-day-
memory. Is it 3 days?
When a complaint comes in, 3 days it has to be out to the police department. And once the police department completes their investigation, they send it over here. I think there's a 30-day
That's
that the
my
ACC
recollection.
has to sit
Yes.
down. Yeah. There's a 15-day for something that I don't remember exactly, but I'll verify that. But I think once the ACC gets it, you got like a 30-day time clock to do your thing and kind of get back to them. And then I think there's a year and a day when they can actually
Right.
provide the final disposition to
within-
the officer.
And within that 30 days, we're requesting additional information, or we're making sure that we have what we need.
Correct.
Well, rather than pick a time after the ACC gets a matter
Yeah.
and say, let's go with that, I would rather look at what we get, discuss it, and say, do we think we need anything else? And so that discussion would be after we've all had a chance to review it and agree that it's time to get together. That, I mean, this is me, but
Yeah.
I don't disagree. For me personally, I need at least 3 business days to review what comes in, to give feedback to you all, to say, here's where I think,
That's fine.
I
That's
am.
plenty of time. It's not,
if we're looking for that.
yeah. 3 to 5 days, that's fine.
Yep.
So if we get it to you 3 days later, you might be ready to say, okay, in a week, we're gonna have a meeting and sit down and go over this.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but, you know, as soon as it comes to us, we're gonna get it out to you guys. I guess the next most important thing will be to get you the laptop and the email address, and get you signed in on it, make sure that it's working, make sure your access is there, you can see what you need to see, and then, when the case does come, you know, we can fire it up. So, as soon as we can get the laptops and the email addresses to you guys, and you can try them out, and make sure they work and everything's there, and if we have questions, we can get IT or whatever to help us work through the bugs. And then, when the case comes, it will hopefully flow smoothly.
It's time for us to earn our paychecks.
Right. Well, and if it's easier for you, I'm just as happy to come down here and do the laptop thing, because our IT department at home is not probably anywhere near as good as you have here. So,
It'll probably be over at our office, but like I said, I'll make it at your convenience.
yeah,
So they can come into the office, sign in, check that they can get in okay, get onto the OneDrive, make sure, you know, they have access and they're comfortable with that.
And we
and
can do that over at Emergency Services.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do it that way. I don't want to say what anybody else should do.
Yeah,
but-
no, that's, if that's what you guys want to do, that's easy.
It
That's
ma-
probably-
makes
Makes
sense.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I have no
Once we
idea
get
what a
that stuff,
OneDrive
and
is.
then You just let us know what day you can come in or whatever, and we'll make sure we're there.
I just know it's not a
Go
key
through with it.
anything.
Okay?
Okay.
And then we'll wait and see when this case comes. It could come anytime. You know, it could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be a week from now, you know? So,
We talked about our next meeting is June the 5th, and that will be, with the PAB, will be with the police chief and the sheriff, to do our quarterly meeting with them. When we go over some of the highlights of the meeting real quick, in a nutshell.
Sure.
We talked about, they talked about some community outreach stuff without, you know, we don't want to do like Facebook per se, but get the name, get the, what we're about, what the Police Accountability Board's about, and make the community a little more aware they know there's other avenues. And one of the suggestions was Coffee with a Cop program, and have someone from the PAB in conjunction with the sheriff or the police chief in their departments, if they choose to do this. They like the idea. Just if there was a citizen who wanted to ask questions. We talked about, and I've already brought it up, about maybe doing a switch from the PAB to the ACC and vice versa. We introduced Lisa to the PAB. Our next meeting, or I'm sorry, we know about June the 5th. The following meeting is July the 3rd. We'll know by the next meeting whether we're going to modify that date and time. Yes, sir.
ACC is one thing, the PAB has to meet monthly, so we'll talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Boss has spoken. So we might have to modify it, or we'll address it at the next meeting. And that's all I have. Anything else?
Nothing from me.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Adjourn.
Kind of difficult there. Yeah. It's not gonna show up as 2 seconds.